In this video, I wanted to compare an expensive kneeling chair to a cheap kneeling chair to see if there's actually a difference between them. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't feel like I'll notice that much of a difference between an expensive one and a cheap one, but that's why I'm making this video. We're gonna compare them and see which one wins. The things that I wanna rate these products on is the assembly, the comfort of them, the price, or in other words, like the value for the money that you're getting for the product, and I also wanna check out the durability of these products. So that's what we're gonna see. Let's start off with assembly then and see which one wins. A ripped up instruction guide, not bad. Your chair, a cushion to sit on, and their assembly guide. I like this material. It feels like suede or something, so it feels like silky almost. So I'm not hating it so far. We'll see after I assemble it. Oh my goodness. Kind of a cool design. I kind of like this. Ooh, that didn't peel off that good. Got it. I don't know exactly whether the big side should be towards the back or the front. This isn't lining up that good. I think it might be backwards. It took me an extra second to get this figured out. There it is. The cheap one. All assembled, all ready to go. On to the more expensive one now. Huh! Forgot to put this on. Now when it comes to assembling these kneeling chairs, I feel like the winner is the more expensive brand because they give you extra tools and parts in case you lose like a bolt or a screw or break something on accident. So they give you backup parts, which is really nice in case anything like that happens. And I feel like their instruction guide is a little bit clearer and makes a little bit more sense when you're assembling it. And it's just easier to follow along with versus the competitor. Looks like a dog chewed it up for one. But the second thing is it's not as clear. For example, when I was assembling the seat, I didn't know which orientation to assemble it in, and I accidentally did it backwards, and so the holes weren't lining up and it wasn't working properly, so I had to unscrew it and then adjust it. So it took a little bit more steps to actually assemble this one, and I feel like the assembly process was a little bit smoother with Vilno. Now I will say this though, Vilno took me a little bit longer to actually assemble because there are more parts to actually assemble it. I don't know if I would hold that against it because that could mean it's more durable or more sturdy, but this did take me more time because there are more pieces to put together. Now before I move on to actually testing these chairs and looking at the comfort, I wanted to just look at the style and the look of them first before I do that. Looking at the cheaper chair, it's still pretty sleek, I'm not gonna lie. The cloth material is very smooth. It's like a suede almost material, so it feels very silky. Looks fine to me. It looks almost like the wood is the similar wood. It looks like it's made out of the same material almost, so I don't know that there's much of a difference there. There are only two support pieces holding the legs together, so that's a difference I notice. But other than that, I still think it looks pretty nice. You can tell that the pads on it are thinner, so we're actually gonna see how this holds up when it comes to the comfort. Looking at the more expensive kneeling chair, this one obviously has thicker pads here. It feels taller as well, and I don't know if that's because it has thicker pads that it feels taller, but it is a little bit just more sturdy of a chair. You can see it has multiple support pieces inside of it to hold the legs together. Still looks good. Like I said, the wood seems like it's the same material. I don't think there's much of a difference there. They both look good, in my opinion. I like them both. Now let's test them, see how they feel. It's warm in this office. So as I've got to try out these two different chairs, something I'm noticing about the difference between them is I feel like this more expensive chair does a better job at distributing my weight evenly between kneeling and between sitting. It's kind of right in that middle ground where I can gently rock forward and put more pressure in my legs, or I can rock backwards and there's more pressure where I'm sitting at. So this feels a little more natural and it's easy to rock on. With this cheaper chair, I can sit backwards and this feels very comfortable even with my legs still on the chair. I don't feel like I'm gonna topple over backwards. But when I go to actually kneel and sit in like a active sitting position like this to work on my posture, this doesn't feel as natural. It feels like my legs are too close to my butt here, and it feels like I'm bending my legs too much, and I don't have much support on my knees. It's more so like the shins is where I feel it, and it more so like puts tension on my knees versus just being able to sit comfortably, if that makes sense. Another thing I'm noticing when I'm in this cheaper chair is I can definitely feel the wood underneath this cushion pad because it is very thin versus the expensive one has a thick cushion and it feels a lot more comfortable to actually sit in. So if you're someone who works for long hours, like a full 8-hour day at a desk, then I think having a larger cushion will make you feel more comfortable throughout your day. Actually, it's surprising on the difference I feel between sitting in these two chairs. I honestly didn't think I would notice this much of a difference between them. I thought they'd be very comparable, but I'm just not feeling like they're similar when it comes to just the sitting position and sitting comfort. So when it comes to the comfort, in my experience using these two different chairs, I feel like the more expensive one is the winner because the pads are thicker, so it feels more comfortable to sit on and it's more soft. And I also feel like it has an easier time rocking back and forth. And I also feel like it puts me in a better position ergonomically where it's more weight right here on my knees. And also it just balances that out between kneeling and sitting better versus this one. I feel like you're fully kneeling or you're fully sitting. There isn't that great of a middle ground. So I just feel like the quality feels a little bit better in this more expensive one. Now let's talk about price. At the time of this recording, the cheap chair comes in at $65 and the expensive chair comes in at $250. That's a $175 difference between these two chairs. So in my opinion, the cheap chair is the winner because it is more affordable and it's easier for you to get a chair and then you can still get a desk or get other things that you need for your office. So the cheap chair wins in the price category. But the one thing I would say about the more expensive chair is if you're someone who's going to be sitting at your desk all day long, you might want to opt for the more expensive one because in my opinion, it's more comfortable. So for me, with a background working in physical therapy, I've seen a lot of patients come into physical therapy because they're sitting at their desk with poor posture. And so if you have a cheaper chair and you don't like the way it feels on your legs because it's putting too much pressure on your shins and the cushion is very thin, so it's starting to hurt your butt, then you might not enjoy sitting at your desk all day long versus if you got a more expensive one, you're gonna feel the comfort when you're sitting there for longer periods. Now, the last category was durability, and I don't really know that I have a clear answer for you because I haven't done a long-term test on both of these chairs at the same time to see how they hold up. I will say that this cushion is a lot smaller, so if this starts to wear out over time, then this is going to be very uncomfortable. It's going to be like you're sitting on wood, versus this one has a thicker pad. But if this thick pad wears out quickly, then it would be in the same boat as the cheap one. They feel pretty similar. Even though this one has less parts, this one still feels like I'm not gonna tip out of it or like it's nothing crazy to it. Let me check the weight capacity. So actually, surprisingly, the cheaper chair has 30 pounds extra weight to its capacity than this more expensive one. This one only holds 300 pounds. This one holds 330 pounds. So technically this allows heavier people to use it. So that's kind of nice about it. Honestly, I think it's a very comparable as far as the durability and just the structure of these two chairs go. So I can't really declare a winner. If I was going to declare a winner, it would be the cheaper chair because it has a higher weight capacity. So there it is. Those are my thoughts on these two different chairs. I feel like the more expensive one does a little bit better job of just being a more comfortable chair. And honestly, if you compare this to actually office chairs, which can run $300 and above to all the way to like thousands of dollars, then it really doesn't seem like that big of a deal to spend $250 on it. Now, if you are someone trying to save some money, I don't think this is a bad option for you because for $65, that's not bad. Even if this does wear out over time, you could buy like 3 of these chairs before you could buy one of these. So you can actually be happy getting this for the price. So I don't want to discount that this is a good deal for the price. But if you're someone who like works at your desk all day, then I would recommend getting a chair that feels more comfortable. So those are my thoughts. Read some Amazon reviews for yourself. See what you like between them. Compare them. I like this gray color. It actually looks really nice. So see what you like about these chairs. Let me know in the comments which one you would prefer. And thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.